Welcome to General Anatomy, Anatomy and Physiology. Basic body systems. What is anatomy? Anatomy is the scientific study of the shape and structure of the human body. Physiology is the scientific study of how the body functions. So form and function. These are some of the directional terms that we will often use, and we'll discuss them a little bit more thoroughly in the next slide. Anatomical terms include body locations. Anatomic position refers to the body in a vertical position, standing up straight, with the face and palms of the hands facing forward. In this position, we would call the uppermost part of the body the superior plane, that towards the head. The opposite is inferior, that's below the head, closer to the feet. Anterior refers to the front or in front of, while posterior means towards the back or behind. Median or mesial refers to the middle of the body or the midline, while lateral refers to the outermost part of the body, to the right or the left of the mid-sagittal plane. Proximal means closest to the source, and distal means further away from the midline of the body. Superficial refers to something that is positioned towards the surface, very shallow. Supine is when the body is lying down horizontally, facing upwards. Prone is when the body is lying horizontally but is facing downwards. Planes and sections of the body. The transverse or horizontal plane divides the body into top and bottom, or superior and inferior, as in the maxillary and the mandibular. Sagittal or vertical divides the body into right and left halves. We can have a mid-sagittal plane, divides the body into equal segments. The coronal plane divides the body into the front and back, or anterior and posterior, forms a right angle with the sagittal plane. Here are some diagrams depicting these planes. You can see the sagittal plane runs right down the midline. Mesial is very close to that midline. Lateral is further away from the midline. Distal or peripheral are as far away from the trunk, and those would include toes and fingers. Proximal or center, closer to the trunk. The second diagram shows frontal, the coronal plane. The transverse planes divides the body in half with the short axis of the body. Superior refers to that which is above or higher up, where inferior is below. And then we have anterior, which also can be called ventral, and posterior, which is often called dorsal. The structural units of the body. The basic unit are cells. Next we have tissues. Tissues grouped together form organs. Organs form together to form body systems. Cells. Every human life begins as a single cell. Every cell has the capacity to do several things. First, to react to stimuli and to transform nutrients into energy. Second factor would be growth. And the third is to reproduce. Stem cells are immature, unspecialized cells in the body. These stem cells can be induced to become different types of cells in the body. Stem cells come from two primary sources. First is embryonic stem cells. They come from the embryos that develop from eggs that have been fertilized in a test tube, and they are used for research products. This is currently banned in many states of the United States. The other source would be adult stem cells. These types of stem cells are found in the tissues of both adults and children, and they're primarily found in bone marrow, blood, skin, dental pulp, retina, skeletal muscles, and the brain. The cell membrane is that outer coating of the cell. It helps the cell maintain its form, and it separates it from the surrounding environment, almost as our skin does to us. It has special physical and chemical properties. Cytoplasm is a gel-like fluid inside the cell. This makes up a vast majority of the inside of the cell and consists primarily of water. The nucleus of the cell. This is the control center, the headquarters of the cell. It contains that very important body's chromosomes, both DNA and RNA, two chemicals that carry all your genetic information. Organizations of the body. Levels of organization within the body include microscopic, or that which cannot be seen by the naked eye, and that would include atoms, molecules, and cells. Atoms are the basic unit of all matter, of all elements. A molecule is two or more atoms combined, and a cell is the basic unit of life, and that is composed of molecules. Visible parts of the body are those which can be seen with the naked eye. Tissues, which are groups of similar cells that perform a similar function, such as dental, enamel, dentin, pulp, and cementum. Those are tissues that form a particular organ. Organs are the next group. They are several types of tissues that perform a similar function, and for example, the heart. Organ systems combine and work together to perform a specific function, such as the digestive system, which includes the mouth, the stomach, small and large intestines. They work together to digest the food. And finally, organ systems come together to form an organism. Several organ systems working together to create a living human being like us. There are four main types of tissues. First one we'll talk about is nervous tissue. That includes the brain and spinal cord and nerves. Second one is epithelial tissue. This tissue lines the digestive tract organs and other hollow organs, and it is your skin surface is made of epithelial tissue. Muscle tissue. Three types of muscle tissue include cardiac or heart muscle tissue, smooth muscles, which let you move, and smooth muscles are inside the body, help with digestion, and skeletal muscles are attached to bones and help you move. And then connective tissue is fat and other padding tissue, bones, and tendons. Organs. Organs are formed when several types of tissue groups come together to form a single function. There are 78 different organs in the body. The largest is the skin, followed by the liver, brain, lungs, and heart. Body systems are a group of organs that work together to perform a major function. Our bodies have 10 major body systems that will be discussed later on.